Welcome to Episode 3 of Run the Length. My opponent is my practice partner, Nick Kleeman, who recently beat both me and Alex Botts at the recent tournament at Grognard Games, only to lose to Jordan in finals. We are doing the draft format again this week. Let me know in the comments if this is something you enjoy, or would you rather just get straight to the games after the draft has occurred. We select plots. I choose Brace for Impact because I plan on being on the defensive most of the game, and none of my players have either of the two abilities the card gives you. I choose Knee Slider because I know I'll score at least one goal this game, assuming it's going well at all, and Composure to allow some added flexibility while looking for the goal. Nick's only plot card that he reveals during this game is Who Are Ya? I win the roll to go first, and I choose to receive. This means I draft first. My 9 are Midas, Smoke, Flask, Compound, Harry, Vitriol, Calculus, Mercury, and Catalyst, aka Katie. Nick's 9 are Honor, Hammer, Marbles, Harmony, Brick, Tower, Mallet, Flint, Decimate. I open the draft with my only mascot, Flask, then Nick counters with his only mascot, Marbles. I respond with Harry. Nick goes Mallet, I go Vitriol. Then Nick picks Brick. None of these are big surprises here, since they are staple players for each of our factions. I choose Calculus next, which tips my hand slightly towards Smoke, but I can definitely still play Midas with this roster. Nick counters with Tower. While it is hard to leave a tooled up model off the pitch, I think that this tips his hand a little bit to playing more of a full fighting force. I select Smoke. I think Smoke and Midas have an equal chance of winning this matchup, but I select Smoke due to how Nick has handled the Midas matchup in the past. Typically, Mallet just sticks to Midas and hits him with smash shins every single turn. This makes it incredibly difficult for me to make Midas useful in this matchup, so I tend to lean Smoke. Nick selects Flint here, hiding his captain choice until the end of the draft. But with me playing a fully controlling team, I suspect that this pick is going to be Honor. I draft Mercury. I've been thinking about this lineup a lot lately, and while talking about it with the Strictly the Worst guys, I've been told that it's utter garbage, but since I'm a stubborn person, I am going to try to live the Smoke control dream anyway. And I think this is the best matchup to do it into. Nick wraps up his picks with Honor. I think his hand is forced here. I have just too much control on the board for him to play Hammer into. The terrain on the table is 2 walls on the bottom of the screen, rough terrain in the middle, a barrier in the form of a cathedral, and the blood pool is being played as fast terrain. Nick deploys. Moving from top to bottom, we have Mallet, Tower, Honor, Marbles, Brick, then Flint. Mallet is kicking off. I deploy Calculus at the top because she has moderate speed and can affect the game from range. Flask is hugging Vitriol. Harry's in the center so that I can take advantage of his aura. Smoke is also in the middle so that Mercury can take advantage of her momentous inspiration. Then I have Mercury deployed next to her. From here we move on to allocation. I put 2 on Calculus, none on Flask, 2 on Vitriol, 2 on Harry, 4 on Smoke, and 3 on Mercury. The plan here is to have Calculus get the ball and pass it to Vitriol, then to make momentum passing the ball, and throw out AoEs with Harry and Mercury, and after that to activate Smoke and set his entire team on fire. Nick allocates. He puts 3 on Mallet, 2 on Tower, 4 on Honor, none on Marbles, 1 on Brick, 2 on Flint. The big thing to look out for here is the Mallet missile, which increases Mallet's threat to 15 inches. I activate Calculus and sprint to the ball. I kick the ball to Vitriol and miss, and the ball scatters to the goal. Great start. Honor activates. She jogs up, uses Superior Strategy on Mallet so that he has an additional activation, and allocates him an influence. I activate Flask and jog him up just a bit and place my Smoke Cloud, catching Vitriol in the cover. Brick sprints up and makes sure to stay more than 3 inches from the monkey so that I can't light them both on fire with 1 AoE. I sprint Vitriol to the ball, then back up the field. She passes the ball to Mercury. It succeeds, and we use Harry's aura to dodge Mercury up for free. Marbles jogs up, and again makes sure to stay more than 3 inches from Brick. Mercury activates and passes the ball to Smoke, who uses Harry's aura to dodge up the pitch a bit. Mercury then jogs up, throws his fire AoE, catching just Brick. We successfully hit the play, dealing 1 damage to Brick, lighting him on fire, and gaining a momentum from Smoke's Momentous Inspiration aura. Tower activates, repositions slightly, and tools up Mallet, then puts up Defend the Ground. We are seeing Nick prepare the Mallet Mist, where he puts Mallet into our lines as the last 2 activations of the turn, and I would love nothing more than to kill this influence. I sprint up Harry and place the Molotov just shy of Mallet. Nick activates Mallet and checks to see if he's able to hit Harry through the fire, and with the -2/-2 move he will be just out of range, so he jogs him around the fire AoE. I think this is a huge mistake that allows me to react to the missile when that shouldn't be possible. I activate Smoke and kick the ball to Harry. The kick is good and I spend momentum to dodge Harry, since Harry doesn't benefit from his own aura. I jog Smoke up and place a proxy base where she is standing. I do this just to make measuring easier and to be more precise for this activation. I am in range of both fire AoEs, and I push both AoEs with Chemical Breeze. I am able to light both Honor and Mallet on fire with Harry's AoE, and with Mercury's AoE I light Marbles on fire. I then use my last influence to make a smoke cloud to jump to. I am careful to place it on Harry as well, just in case he actually can get Mallet to Harry. I am now out of activations, so Nick can activate twice in a row. He sprints Flint up the side of the table and uses Where'd They Go to get deeper into my backfield. He then activates Mallet and sees that all of my players are now outside of 7 inches. He sprints Mallet back since he can't charge anyone and expects me to win the initiative roll. This ends the turn. The momentum race is 3-0 in favor of the Alchemists, but I roll a 1 and he rolls a 6. I really wanted to go second here since I have engineered another turn of potentially starving Nick for momentum, and if he has no momentum, I will have an easy time killing more of his influence. But Nick wisely decides to go second, giving him that precious home crowd momentum. I allocate. I put 4 on Mercury, 3 on Calculus, 2 on Harry, and 1 on Vitriol. The plan here is to continue to starve him for access to momentum and cover him in conditions. Nick allocates. He puts 6 on Honor, 4 on Mallet, 1 on Tower, and 1 on Marbles. I activate Harry and kick the ball to Smoke. I miss the kick, and the ball ends up near the goal again. The missed kick is annoying because I wanted momentum to be able to counterattack if he manages to send someone into my lines this turn. Harry moves up and throws his fire AoE. Tower tools up Honor and jogs towards the backfield. I activate Vitriol and jog her back to the ball, then I pass the ball to Smoke. The pass is successful, and Smoke uses Harry's aura to dodge. Nick activates Flint, and he jogs him up to the cover. I activate Mercury and jog him to just within 6 inches of Flint and do Flame Jet, but my attack misses. Mercury then drops a fire AoE on Flint, hitting it, dealing 2 damage, setting him on fire, and generating a momentum off of Smoke's aura. Nick activates Brick and jogs him up. I activate Calculus. I jog her up to just within 8 inches. I bonus time a blind onto Mallet, which I get. I then use her last 2 influence to throw a poison AoE, and I hit Mallet with it. Nick activates Marbles and sprints him in front of Brick. I jog Flask over and place cover on Harry. Nick activates Honor and uses Quick Time to dodge 2 inches closer to Harry, then charges him. I decide to defensive stance, since my counter here is unlikely to do anything with only 4 dice. Honor selects Knockdown. Honor attacks again, dealing Momentous 3, triggering Rising Anger. Honor attacks again, dealing Momentous 3, and uses 2 momentum to clear Mallet. I activate Smoke, and I am thinking goal here. I measure, and I can get to Brick's melee range so that he cannot countercharge me. Then I place the smoke cloud behind him and use Cloud Jumper to jump within range of the goal. I make my kick roll and score the first points of the game. I reveal Knee Slider and dodge back into Brick. Nick plays Who Are Ya on Smoke. This brings the score to 4-0. The hope with this dodge is that I can quickly get Smoke relevant again, since when I score with her, she is often not able to do anything for quite some time, and I am not scared of Brick wailing on her at all, since he can ignore my unpredictable movement within his 2-inch melee zone. so I just might as well shut down countercharge while I'm over there. Nick kicks out the ball and activates Mallet. Mallet can't reach anyone, so he just sprints up and grabs the ball. I feel pretty good about this game so far, since over the course of 2 turns I've been able to kill 12 influence off of Mallet. This ends the turn. Alchemists lead in momentum 2-0. I win the initiative roll and choose to go first. I allocate. I place 4 on Harry, 4 on Mercury, 3 on Vitriol, none on Flask or Smoke. And then I place 3 on Calculus. Nick allocates. He places 6 on Honor, 4 on Mallet, 2 on Brick, nothing on Flint, Marbles, or Tower. I activate Harry, sacrifice my movement to stand, and I use Crazy. Harry attacks Honor. Nick forgets to declare his free counterattack. I only get 2 successes and deal 2 damage. Harry attacks again. Nick declares his free counterattack this time. My dice let me down a bit and I only get 1 hit through. Then I make a mistake. I take 1 damage instead of a momentous push. If I take the push and use it to bring Honor into base contact, her counterattack can't mess up my activation too bad. But by not taking it, I have invited disaster into this activation. Nick's counterattack does 1 damage and a double dodge, allowing Honor to escape Harry. I gain 2 momentum off of Rising Anger. Harry then lays down his Fire AoE on Honor and misses the character play. I forget to heal Harry, and with a heavy sigh, I pass the turn back to Nick. Honor activates, jogging to just outside of Flask's melee zone, and swings on Harry. I declare a counterattack. Nick flubs the roll and comes up with nothing. My dice come up fire, and I'm able to do 2 damage and double push Honor into the Fire AoE and out of melee with Harry. Honor uses Quick Time to dodge back into Harry. She swings at Harry, dealing 3 damage. She swings again, dealing another 3 damage. She swings one last time and deals momentous 2 damage, leaving Harry on 1 box. Honor spends 1 momentum to heal herself. I activate Calculus and realize that this is a pretty make-or-break activation for me. Harry is my only beater, and I need to hang on to him or the game is going to become very difficult very quickly. I bonus time a blind onto Mallet, and I get it. Calc throws a poison AoE at Mallet and bravely runs away. I tuck her behind the building and pass the turn back to Nick. Nick activates Mallet. He sprints and clips the fast terrain for a speed boost. He passes the ball to Honor. It's down 2 dice due to blind and up 1 from Football Legend. He makes the kick and spends momentum to get the 4-inch dodge into melee range of Calculus. He swings twice at Calculus, but due to blind and cover, he's only rolling 2 dice and misses both attacks. I activate Flask and engage Honor and put her in cover. Nick activates Brick and makes an attack on Smoke. A quick rules call out here. Even though this plot card is from Season 1, it functions slightly differently than it used to, since now it says when a friendly model makes an attack against an enemy model that has a Vengeance token, the friendly model may remove the Vengeance token to gain +4 net hits. Instead of models attacking the marked model may remove the token. This means that you pull the token before the roll. Brick uses the Vengeance token and rolls only 1 success, giving him 4 hits total. He elects to knock down Smoke. His second attack doesn't fare much better. With only 2 net hits, he does 2 damage. Brick walks up and engages Mercury. I activate Smoke and just stand her up. Nick jogs Tower up. I activate Vitriol. She jogs up to engage Honor. I attack without declaring my bonus damage, since the most important thing here is to get the ball, and I will likely take that no matter what this roll is. With the swing, we get 3 hits through, but still just decide to take the tackle. I swing again with hidden damage this time, and we do 3 damage to Honor. With my last influence, I kick the ball to Mercury. He is engaged, so we need 5s to hit this, but with 4 dice, we get it, and we just decide to keep the momentum rather than dodge or do anything with it. Nick activates Flint and shakes fire, then just jogs down around the cover. I activate Mercury. I want to kick the ball to Smoke, and I want to get momentum off one of my character plays for this activation. Looking at the table, the only way I can do this is to take a 1-dicer at Brick, so I sprint up and engage both the Monkey and Brick. I Flame Jet on Brick, dealing 3 damage, which Tough Hide reduces to 2, set him on fire, and gain 1 momentum. Mercury then kicks to Smoke, revealing the plot card Composure to bring him back to a 4-dice kick. We make the kick and spend the momentum to dodge up the field. We are trying to get out of Brick's threat range, since he can heavily affect our goal's chances. Nick jogs marbles up. This ends the turn. Alchemists lead the momentum race 2-0. I win the roll and elect to go first. I allocate. I put 4 on Harry, 4 on Vitriol, 3 on Calculus, 3 on Smoke, none on Flask or Mercury. My allocation this turn is a bit of a mistake. The thought is to go with Harry before Honor kills him, but he is on 1 hit point, and without Crazy, I don't think he can knock her down. Nick allocates. He places 4 on Honor, 4 on Mallet, 2 on Flint, 2 on Tower, none on Brick or Marbles. I decide to activate Vitriol. I spend 1 to put Honor, Harry, Flask, and Vitriol in cover. Vitriol swings on Honor, declaring hidden damage. I roll 8 dice, miss 5, dealing only 2 damage. I swing again, getting a Momentous Clone. The final swing, I select Momentous Push Dodge, and I heal Harry and end my activation. Nick activates Honor, and takes a parting blow from Flask. He deals 1 damage to Honor. Honor attacks Harry, dealing 1 damage and triggering Rising Anger. Honor attacks again, and I declare a counterattack. Honor deals 1 damage. Harry's counterattack deals a single push and pushes Honor out of melee. Honor uses her legendary to give herself and Mallet 1 influence. She uses Quick Time to dodge back into Harry and makes an attack. Her attack deals 2 momentous damage, leaving Harry on 1. Brutal. Harry activates and heals, and then uses Crazy. He swings on Honor, and she declares her free counterattack. He does Momentous 2 double push, pushing her out of her 1-inch melee and into a gang up with Vitriol, but not quite into the cover that she created. Honor cannot make her swing due to being out of 1 inch. Harry makes his second attack. He deals Momentous 2 double push, but we elect not to move her. Harry makes his third attack. He deals non-momentous 3 damage. I bonus time Harry's last attack. I deal 3 damage and take out his captain. This brings the score to 6-0. I decide not to move Harry and pass the turn back to Nick. Nick activates Mallet and swings on Calculus. He chooses Momentous Singled Out. Mallet's second swing misses. Mallet's third swing deals 2 momentous damage. Mallet's fourth swing deals 2 momentous damage. Mallet's last swing deals another momentous 2 damage. Mallet spends a momentum to heal himself, then Mallet jogs closer to Calculus. I activate Mercury and shift him slightly, then pass the turn back to Nick. Nick activates Brick, shakes fire, and jogs him back, taking a parting blow from Mercury. Mercury's parting blow deals 2 damage, but is reduced to 1 by Brick's tough skin. I activate Calculus and swing on Mallet and completely miss. Then I spend 2 influence to throw my poison at Mallet and deal 2 damage. Then I heal Calculus. Nick activates Marbles and jogs him around Mercury. I activate Smoke and sprint up to within tap-in range of the goal. I place a cloud to run the length back into, and then I take the shot. I make the shot and run the length back into the cover. Nick kicks the ball out to Tower. Nick activates Tower and sprints to grab the ball. Then, being out of range to get the ball to Flint, he kicks it towards him. Nick makes the kick roll, giving him a reroll on the scatter. His first scatter is bad, but the reroll comes up, putting the ball fairly close to Flint. I activate Flask and try to get him in the way of the goal, but without an influence to sprint, he comes up short. Nick activates Flint. Flint sprints and picks up the ball, then uses Where'd They Go to dodge off camera and stand right near the table edge. I understand what Nick is trying to do here. I am about to lose my only beater, Harry, who is sitting on 2 hit points, and he has no players on low health. Killing the ball with a locked and loaded goal is a good idea, but he doesn't realize how long Smoke's threat range is here. Masons win the momentum race 3-0, and then they win the roll to go first. Nick brings Honor back on the field. and allocates. 6 to honor, 4 to mallet, 1 to tower, 1 to brick, none on marbles or flint. I allocate. I put 6 on smoke, 4 on Harry, 4 on vitriol, 1 on calculus, and none on mercury or flask. Nick activates mallet and attacks calculus. Mallet's first attack deals momentous singled out. Mallet's second attack misses. Mallet's third attack knocks calculus down momentously. Mallet's last attack deals 2 momentous damage. I activate smoke. I place a cloud on the other side of the wall, then use Cloud Jumper to jump into it. I declare a charge on Flint. Flint uses defensive stance and declares a counterattack. I bonus time the attack, and successfully push Flint off the pitch. Final score, 12-0. This has been another classic game of Guild Ball. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter at @TheKirkov. Today's match was filmed at Grognard Games in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. In the comments below, tell me whether you enjoyed this game, and be sure to point out all the mistakes we made during the game. I'm Vincent Kirkov, and this has been Run the Length.